Welcome to the Divorce Diaries podcast, one man's anonymous and live account of if he should get a divorce or stay married. He's been cheated on and he's cheated, protecting the innocent with changed voice patterns, the omission of names, ages and genders. His authentic journey and account of the daily events of his marriage are helping him sort out his feelings and not get lost in the ups or the downs. New episodes are released daily. Welcome to the Divorce Diaries podcast. Entire seasons are released on Patreon weeks before anywhere else at Divorce Diaries Podcast Patreon page. Link in description. Now for today's episode.
Most incredible thing is the purity and the wonder of children. My youngest, she gave me a shirt this past Sunday. This past Sunday would have marked the, 17th or maybe 18th wedding anniversary for my soon-to-be ex and I. And my daughter worked with a friend to try and get me, I guess, gifts. And she picked a gift for me because she lived in the house with me and my soon-to-be ex and grew up with, her entire life and just saw whatever she saw and made whatever interpretations based on whatever she saw living there. And she gave me a t-shirt knowing that my soon-to-be ex and I are about to be fully divorced. The t-shirt, as I just opened it up, it says, "Best husband ever." And I got it and I kind of looked at it and I said, wow, honey, okay, this is an interesting gift, which I appreciate, but why did you get me a t-shirt that says "Best husband ever"? I don't understand. And she just kind of put her head down. She kind of made a sad face, kept her head down, kept her head down, and kept it down. And I'm like, seriously, honey, help. Thank you. But I'm confused. Dad's confused. I'm about to get a divorce from your mom, but you're getting me a t-shirt that says "Best husband ever." And she didn't speak for about 5 minutes. I didn't press, but she was visibly affected and visibly sad by the gift she gave me. And maybe it was my reaction, which I didn't want that reaction to happen, but this is also one of those probably life things, right? Where you tell people, like, let's say there's someone in your life that's a vegetarian. Let's take it a step further, a vegan. And you get them a membership to Omaha Steaks because you love a good New York strip. It's okay if that person says, hey, you know that I'm a vegan. Why would you get me a subscription to a steak delivery service? I just don't understand. Can you help me understand why you would give me such a gift? And she eventually said, well, Dad, just because Mom wasn't a very good wife doesn't mean you weren't a good husband. I wanted you to know that even though things haven't worked out the way that you wanted, even though you guys are getting a divorce, I still thought that you were the best husband ever. And looking at her and the sadness mixed with the pride she had but no longer felt about her gift, coming to the realization that, oh shit, my dad is getting a divorce and he's still not thrilled about it, but he's also very happy to be getting a divorce because he knows it's the best thing for everyone, including himself. So that sober look she had, the sweetest thing in the world. And just remember, as if anyone's listening to this that is going through a divorce, has gone through a divorce, I guess just remember our kids are thinking, hopefully, righteously and warmly and empathetically. But sometimes, just like we might miss the mark, they might miss. And especially, and some of the worst misses are the ones where you think that, oh, I am perfectly on target. This is 100% accurate. No one could have picked a better gift than I just picked for my dad, because I want him to walk around wearing a t-shirt right before he gets divorced that says I'm the best husband ever, because I want him to feel good about the effort he put in. What an amazing kid. If that doesn't give you a peek into why I love my daughter so much, I don't know what else could. But it also could give you a peek into sometimes some of the things we have to do as parents that we don't want to. Gave her a hug. It's okay, honey. I totally understand the thought now. But sometimes with things, we may have to think a little bit slower. Even when we think we got it all figured out, we might have to sleep on it and slow down. And my friend that helped her get it, which is funny, she says, well, I asked her if she was sure that she wanted to get that. And she said, yep, that's the one. That's the one I want to get for my dad. And she's like, I didn't have the heart to tell her that that's probably not a good gift, because she was so proud and she really wanted to. So I do appreciate that friend. I do appreciate her not trying to coach my daughter or tell my daughter not to do something specific. I appreciate that friend letting my daughter try it, because maybe I would have been some sort of weirdo and said, wow, thank you so much. I am the best husband ever. You know what? I'm going to wear this proudly, even after me and your mom are divorced. This is great. But instead, I don't want anything on me that shows or reminds me that I ever was a husband, at least not to this person. I'm pretty sure that maybe there are some people out there in the world that feel good about their divorces. I believe those people are probably in the minority. I believe that some of those men might be simps, and or some of the men and women may be trying to make sure that peace is kept between the two of them, because maybe the man might understand her to be vengeful. She may think that he is spiteful, and both parties or one party might be keeping the peace and going overboard and attempting to keep said peace to make sure that everything goes well. So it's just, that's not my cup of tea. I am so overwhelmingly happy to almost be divorced. In this year, 2022, I will go from being a married man to a single one, happily. My soon-to-be ex will eventually be my ex. I will have in black and white certain decrees and judgments given by a third-party court. I won't have to talk or work anything out with her anymore. There might be some emergencies that we may have to discuss that I just want to make sure that she knows a lot about. But no, I don't. I understand now I should have never had a union with this person. I understand now that any sort of cooperative hope that I could have had for us is a fantasy. I'm very much looking forward to saying that she's my ex-wife. I mean, I'm so serious when I say I couldn't be happier. It's just one of those things when you got something that just feels right, like when you eat salad versus eating like a Twinkie or some Oreos or Nutella or something. You eat that and it's like, how do you feel after you eat that, but the salad after you eat it, you're like, as much as I don't like it, I do feel good. And this is one of those things where I feel great. And I appreciate the babies. I appreciate the kids, the good ones, the ones that feel for mom and dad and are empathetic, the empathetic creatures that we sort of created them to be. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Yeah. So to my daughter, who will never hear this podcast, I love you. And thank you for the gift. And I won't be wearing it. And I just dropped it off at the UPS store for it to be returned so that my friend can get her money back. We all had a good laugh about it, and we all got more of a glimpse into the heart and mind and soul of my sweet, innocent child affected by divorce.
Wow, that was the Divorce Diaries podcast. The Daily Saga will continue tomorrow. The full season's episodes are on Patreon now. Subscribe for early access. Click the Patreon link in the description. Hopefully these entries help our anonymous recorder as a form of his own personal therapy. That's his hope and his intention. Will these recordings of life's curveballs lead this family to the best resolution in the end? We'll keep listening. New episodes are released daily on all podcast players, but all episodes are available on Patreon at Divorce Diaries Podcast Patreon page. Until next time.